Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling review series for August of 1991. In this particular episode, we are looking at the 17th of August 1991, about a week and some days away from SummerSlam 91, one of the better SummerSlams of the first few years. I loved 88 through 92. Started to drop off for me in 93, and actually, I think, well, trying to think of a SummerSlam I liked top to bottom after 93. I don't know that there was one. Anyway, and not that there weren't matches I enjoyed. 97. So, yeah, 97 I enjoyed it all the way through. So, but other than that, we go to the final installment of three of Jake Roberts taking the Ultimate Warrior into the darkness. The Ultimate Warrior enters a room with snakes. Now, most of the snakes are rubber, and they've done many cutscenes to make it appear that the snakes are real and moving, because some of them are, but obviously not part of the scene. The warrior, who would get arrested by PETA and various other individuals, in fact, is kicking the snakes around. We know that some of them are not live and some of them are props because they don't even react to being kicked by a 250, 60, 70 pound man, whatever the warrior was at the time. Anyway, in the center of the room is a cobra. The cobra is in a box. The warrior opens the box. We have a cutscene where the cobra comes up, looks the warrior in the eye, and we are led to believe that the warrior gets bitten by the cobra. Led to believe because we do not see the actual bite. Warrior wanders to the door, filled with poison at this point. Hacking, coughing, and simulated puking can be heard. Jake Roberts leaves him there. And the Undertaker, who is the main adversary of the Warrior, makes his way as the Warrior busts his way out the door in some movie scene. Anyway, that is how that's left. Now, why they did that angle and aired it less than a week before SummerSlam, I truly do not understand. I think it would have been better to do that after SummerSlam and have Roberts turn on Savage, but I don't really quite know where to go with that. Anyway, maybe it's because the Warrior quit at SummerSlam and they had to speed the airing of it along. I don't know. Anyway, Berserker in an enhancement match. Punches, kicks, stomps, and knees are the fare for that. He ties his opponent up in the ropes, hits a running kick at him. Fuji is animated on the outside saying, throw him over, and so the Berserker obliges. Natural Disasters promise to get rid of Andre the Giant for embarrassing Jimmy Hart. Also, they promise, in fact, to get rid of the Bushwhackers in their match at SummerSlam as well. And it is what it is as far as that is concerned. We move to the promo for the Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom basically promised to decapitate and separate the Nasty Boys from their skulls at SummerSlam in a couple of days. And then we move to a enhancement match with the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. I will say, after watching years worth of enhancement matches, when I finally do go back to doing a program that isn't enhancement based, it's going to be very different and give me a lot more to work with. The one drawback is that Superstars was so enhancement heavy at the time. Anyway, and by enhancement heavy, I mean non-competitive enhancement heavy, which I understand why they did it to get the stars over, but at the same time, it doesn't really work. Arm drags and basic stuff by the Texas Tornado. Really sad to see Kerry Von Erich here in 91. Literally, probably, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years after his, well, let's see, 86 was the injury, so 85, 91, 6 years after his prime. Just sad to see. He hits the discus punch, gets a win. They're plugging World Tour home video. Home video was still a thing back then. Bobby Heenan is here. He is presenting the NWA Championship, Ric Flair's championship. Says it's the most prestigious belt in all of wrestling. Comparing it to the WWF title is Ice Cream and Horse Manure. Obviously, the NWA belt, the Ice Cream. And Hogan and Flair. Ice cream and horse manure, obviously. Flair the ice cream. We see Skinner out next. Punch, kick. Really basic things. We see him with dip. He does not bring his Bowie knife that he has had in promos with him. He does, however, bring his chewing tobacco, and he brings his opponent to the outside of the ring. They haven't really found much for him to do, as he punches and kicks away at his opponent. He does hit an inverted DDT as his finish across the back, and then kind of just drops the guy on the third one. And I mean, that's kind of there. Kurt Hennig, in a previously aired promo, promises to take care of Bret Hart once and for all. Bret Hart says that with all his time in the dungeon, all his time in the WWF, it's his time, and that at SummerSlam he will be your Intercontinental Champion. He ends up obviously being right about that. Enhancement talent match for the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, mere days away from winning their first and only, I don't remember, I think only, WWF Tag Team Championship. Anyway, headbutts by Hawk and Power with some chops and other basic maneuvers. Oddly, Hawk uses a chin lock in an enhancement match. I don't quite understand that. Tag off to Animal. Animal hit the beautiful power slam. Something that I greatly underestimated the value of until actually rewatching these. I did not grow up with access to the NWA, so WWF was my first run with the Legion of Doom Road Warriors, and I did not value Animal enough at the time. Anyway, RIP to Animal and Hawk. Sad that both of them have passed away. Doomsday device on the enhancement talent, and away we go. We go into a SummerSlam report. Hogan basically says that he and the Hulkamaniacs have been fighting this war with Slaughter since before WrestleMania. He's tired of it, but it ends at SummerSlam. They do not really acknowledge the Warrior being attacked by Jake Roberts in Hogan's promo, so I don't know if that was thrown in later or what that means, but it's not really acknowledged. Of course, they did try to keep Roberts and Hogan apart quite a bit, just because it doesn't work out. Ted DiBiase promises to embarrass Virgil. Virgil says he will send DiBiase and Sherry away in a cab at SummerSlam. The Mountie says that he is going to take the law and order to the big boss man, and that is that. They hyped the whole SummerSlam card, trying to get everyone to buy, back when pay-per-view meant something. Remember those days? Anyway, back when special cards meant something too. Anyway, we see an odd because it doesn't seem to fit here, Jimmy Snuka appearance. And Snuka, who, hits his normal stuff, including but not limited to leapfrogs and chops. Odd just because we haven't seen him in months at this point. So maybe he had an injury. I don't remember seeing him since WrestleMania. So maybe he took a few months off, or who knows. Anyway, go to the outside. Chops by Snuka. Snuka obviously not in the best shape by this point. Amazing that he does go on to ECW in 93, 94 to be relevant, because he's not relevant here in 91. Big splash off the top rope and a finish for the Superfly. I don't know that bringing him back in 89, 90, 91 was good for his legacy long term. Kurt Hennig out to do an enhancement talent mere days before enhancement match mere days before the SummerSlam match with Bret Hart. Punch, kick, and inverted neck snap, and the perfect flex and a win for Hennig. Hennig promises to walk away with the belt, which he is wrong about, coming out of SummerSlam. We will find all that out next week. Greg Valentine promises to take care of IRS. IRS plans to audit and eliminate Greg Valentine, and that closes those two promos. Again, we see the repeat of the Texas Tornado, Ricky Steamboat, and British Bulldog promo from a couple of weeks ago. And we close going into the final push for SummerSlam. The SummerSlam falls on the 26th or something like that. So next week is actually the final show before it, but the heavy push there. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.